Republic of Georgia, year 2000. Georgian Technical University holds an annual talent show for students, and my father happens to be one of the organizers. Few days before the event, several students cancel, and guess what? My father thinks, let me put my amazing daughters, myself and my sister, in front of a big stage. There's one little issue, though, that my sister Tina and I are not students yet. I'm 15, Tina is 16. However, there is one thing we do extraordinarily well, and that is to play in four hands the piano. And our favorite piece is Scott Joplin's The Entertainer, the piece you've been hearing right before you entered the auditorium. We know it so well, we can play with eyes closed, eyes opened, we can switch each other's places, and we can play just like that. So we think, hey, why not? Let's be famous. The day arrives. My mother dresses us up, puts our hair, and it looks like we're going to our wedding, but we enter the stage. And one thing that we realized we completely underestimated was the effect of 900 people staring at us. So suddenly I feel like, my hands are sweating and I'm really shaking, but okay, I'm going towards the piano, I'm taking a seat, and Tina is sitting next to me, and I start to count. 1, 2, 3. Da-da-da-dum, ba-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-dum. Silence. I look at my sister in horror, and I realize not only she forgot who is Scott Joplin, what is entertainer, she most likely forgot her name. You know how we experience fight or flight response sometimes? Well, in her case, it was flight all right, except her body was firm on the piano chair doing nothing. And so in my horror, to compensate, I play twice as loud and I go da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And in the silent pauses where it's her turn, I beg. I say, Tina, C chord at least. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It seems that saving is coming towards us, and the teacher, our piano teacher, shows up from the backstage. She puts the music sheet in front of Tina and says, Tina, you're here. Zero reaction. My sister's consciousness is in a parallel dimension. And I am thinking maybe it's time that I just run to the backstage, but man, the backstage is so far, so I just continue. And the worst part, you know what's the worst part? The worst part is I try to continue for both of us. So I go like crazy, trying to manipulate the four hands thing, and it sounds horrible. Oh, and so the 4 minutes go by, and slowly the end is coming. Hallelujah. And suddenly, miracle happens, and my sister's consciousness slowly comes towards her. We lift four hands together, and we take the most bombastic chord. Voom! Oh, you should have been there. It was beautiful. It was amazing, perfect, and that was the only correct chord. We took in 4.5 minutes. And so my sister runs off, and I look at the audience, the 900 people, and you know what? My father, he invited every single human being he ever met in his life. And so all our relatives and all the friends I've ever seen, they're all there. And some of them lined up, to give us double bouquets. So embarrassingly, I go, I nod my head. I take the double bouquets, and I'm thinking, I will never see you again, people. Never. You see, my sister is my favorite person, the awesome, awesome person. She made sure my life was full of the most embarrassing, awkward moments. But that day was a gift. That day was a gift of humor. You know why? Because I learned how to not take life seriously, myself too seriously, and to eventually become Scott Joplin's The Entertainer. And by the way, just in case any one of you likes to play piano and would like to play with me in 4 hands, I don't think so. Thank you.